everyone, my name is Diane and this is My Pink Bathtub Knits. Welcome. Welcome if you are new and welcome if you are a returning subscriber. I appreciate you checking me out. Today is September the 8th. It's a Friday and I am heading to the Manitoba Fibre Festival this evening. It runs Friday and Saturday this week in Winnipeg, and it's an annual festival that is all about fiber arts, and yarn. I put this sweater on because I was going to wear it to the festival. Now, it's going to be like 22 degrees out. I think it's going to get a little too warm, and I have not hand knit a sweater for myself, so I thought, what am I going to wear? It's going to be like a fashion show there. Everyone is going to be garbed up in their beautiful garments, and what am I going to do? Walk around with a pair of chicken mittens on? Well, I guess I could, but I wouldn't be able to handle and touch the lovely yarn. So I decided, what am I going to wear? And I remembered my friend gifted me this beautiful hand knit sweater from Norway. Just show you a little bit of it. I mean, it's just gorgeous, but I am a woman of a certain age that is going through that. I'm a furnace. I'm a furnace on a good day. So I also didn't really want to be like an imposter and show up there like, anyone's like, oh, I love your sweater. And I'd be like, well, thank you. So I don't think I'm going to be wearing this later today. I think I'm going to put this on, which is knit by my mother. It's a kind of a cottony thing. And then I can just wear like a jean jacket or something with it and be comfortable, but still represent the knitters. Next year, hopefully I will have something of my own. So I'm going to be heading over there. It's on today from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. and then Saturday all day. And I am going to be doing a workshop, a hand-dyed workshop. So I get to dye a hank of yarn. I still don't know what color I want to do. And I am meeting some of my friends. Some of them are also content creators on YouTube. I'm hoping to pop in and see them. Now, I did get my hair cut, and this is a current episode, but there's going to be 2 or 3 episodes after this that my hair is longer. It does not grow long overnight. I'm just scattering my episodes appropriately so I can have time to do my markets. Now, I feel like it's very slow going. I'm starting to get a lot of stress from this. I am about a month out from my first big market. And I'm also feeling like I have a lot of obligations and things going on. I'm going out for lunches. I have a breakfast date with my friend who just retired with me. So there's a lot of stuff going on that I feel I need to do. And I'm finding it's taking a long time to get my products made. So we'll see how that goes. But back to the Fibre Fest. I will be sharing some footage with you of what happened today. We're going to also look, they have sheep there and probably some alpaca. This year is about Shetland wool, so that is the theme of this year's market. And there's going to be various fiber arts with people doing fiber arts, so I'll see what kind of footage I can get for that. There's going to be spinners and people probably knitting socks on those old style sock knitting machines, and all kinds of artists. I'm a little overwhelmed. I have set a budget. I am bringing cash. I am going to be very, like I think I have a yarn hangover already, you guys. I've spent so much money. I'm gonna see how long I can go in 2024 without buying any yarn. I have a lot. and I've bought a lot this recently. So I am knitting for myself. I don't know what I'm gonna buy today. I'm a little overwhelmed. And I feel like I've got a lot of enablers with me too. We'll see. I'm looking forward to sharing with you some of today, and let's see what happens. Once you see me again, I'll probably be in a different outfit because it'll be Saturday and I'll be debriefing you and sharing the footage. So stay tuned to see what happens. Hi friends, it's Saturday. Last night it was a bit of a whirlwind. We were there from, well, we got there a little late. It's opened at 5. I think we were there closer to 5:30. The parking lot was packed, and we left just after 9. They were actually flickering the lights to get us all out of there. It was great. It was really a fun time. I got to meet a lot of really neat people, and I'm going to be sharing some footage with you now of the evening. Some of it I may dub over. Some of it there's some cute little conversations going, so I'm going to let those go as they are, but there is a lot of background noise because I'm not a professional. So I went with my friend Milen. Thank you again for driving, Milen. And I think there's going to be a photo of her somewhere in here. I know she didn't want to be videotaped, but she did a lot of the videoing for me so I could be in some of the footage. So the first thing I did is I went over to see my friend Jody, also known as Jody Jane, from Little Wing Oddbirds. Now she had a booth, and I'm going to show you some of her work. I have bought, I'm going to say, it's going on a dozen birds from her throughout the years. We've also done markets together, so we've kind of been friendly, and we do message each other from time to time, just about market life and supporting each other's craft. And she makes beautiful little birds. She handcrafts these birds using wool and wire. She is an incredible artist, and she is such a sweetheart. As I mentioned, I probably gifted a dozen of her birds throughout my friendship with her, and I want to share with you the one that I have of hers. This is a cute little chicken. Like, look at that bum. She is on Instagram and she has an Etsy store, and I am going to link her information for you below. She will work with you and come up with colors that you would like to do. She's a huge flock of various birds that she does. She's super talented and super sweet. I encourage you to go and check her out. And here is some footage of her booth from last night.
I think I picked Little Wing at first, but that's not very searchable, so I added more.
I think so. I'll show you in a minute. I'm probably just going to dub over the sound and just say a little bit about you. How long have you been doing this?
Since 2016.
Wow. And
I know, right?
What led you to want to create birds out of wool and wire? See, we're doing an interview and you don't even realize it.
I had been a knitter, and so I had yarny things, and I just make a lot of things, so I had lots of things to make things within my house. I saw a blog post that was a roundup of what to do with leftover yarn, and it led to a DIY on kind of the basic construction technique for these birds. And I just captured, it was just really cool. So I've been playing with that basic construction since then.
These rainbow ones are amazing. Are those new?
They're all new.
I then went to my workshop, I was doing a karaoke hand dye your own yarn workshop. And it was put on by Edmonton Company. Just trying to grab all the right information to share with you. It's called Smiling Sheep Fine Yarns, and they have an Instagram as well. I'm going to link their information below. I believe they have a website as well. That's all going to be linked in the description notes. Now, the opportunity was you could hand dye one, minimum of one, because it came with the workshop fee. So a minimum of one. If you wanted to pay for an additional hank, you could do so and do 2 at a time. I chose just to do one because I didn't know what it was gonna look like. And I have to admit, I think I'm gonna call myself the top star. Top points for me. I'm not trying to brag, but it did turn out quite well. In fact, the owner, the lady who did the workshop, was super impressed. And I said, do you want to give me a job? I'll be your hand dyer. And in fact, afterwards, I was so cheeky. I had to leave it there for like an hour because it had to set. They had to steam it to secure the color in it. And then when we arrived, like, I didn't know what to expect. I thought I was just going to be able to go in there and pick, okay, I want this color and this color and this color. But they had workstations set up, and they had, I believe, six or 8 colors already selected, like a color palette. There was a little photo displayed of what the color palette was. And at first I was a little disappointed. I thought, well, I don't get to pick my options. And there was only maybe 8 tables set up. So there was only 2 left. So I ended up picking the lesser of the 2 evils, which had purple and blue in it, and I'm not a big purple person. Well, I didn't even use the blue. I just went with purples and browns, and I kept some of it natural, and I was pretty happy with the results. I'm going to be showing you some of the footage of what it looked like. Now, when it was wet, it was kind of hard to tell, and I was pretty happy. I even did some splotches in there, and then the lady said, okay, we got to flip it and do the other side. And I thought, how am I going to recreate this? So I did the best I could. Then they wrapped it in saran wrap and put it in the steamer. And we ended up going back an hour later to pick it up in a Ziploc bag. Now, I don't have photos of the Ziploc bag, but it looked amazing in the Ziploc bag. And when we came home, we were instructed to hang it to dry because it was still damp. It was wrung out. And so I hung it to dry overnight in one of my showers. And then I took it and put it out in my screen room just to air it out because there was a bit of a sheepy smell, but the smell dissipated a lot once it was dried. And then I just hanged it up. And I was so cheeky. After I picked it up, I walked around with the bag open just to kind of air out the smell of it. It was really sheepy. To me, it smelled like a Tony perm. I had flashbacks of when I was in kindergarten and my mother gave me a Tony perm. And I was going up to the hand dyers and I was like, do you want to see what I hand dyed tonight? And they're like, sure. They all seemed impressed. I don't know if they were just being kind to me or not, but here is my creation. Are you ready for this? I wanted to keep some of the white, and this of course is not professionally hanged up because I just twisted it up. I wanted to keep some of the natural in it, but I don't know if you can see there's some speckles in there too that I kind of just dumped, and it was all done with, I'm going to make a cowl. This yarn is sock weight, it's fingering weight yarn. Where is it's a fingering weight yarn, and it is 85% superwash extra fine merino and 15% nylon, and there's 400 meters, 100 grams. You know what I learned last night is a lot of people when they buy yarn to make their sweaters. They just go by the grams. They don't even go by the yardage. So that was something new, because again, not familiar with these different types of weights of yarn. So what do you think? I would love to know your comments. I think I did really well. So there's actually 4 colors in here. There was 2 colors of purple. Then this is like a fawn, this brown color. And then there's also a darker brown and espresso. And then the 2 colors of purple, which off the top of my head, I don't recall. I'm a dyer now. Here's to a new addiction. So I was pretty happy with it. Went around and we're bumping into lots of people and chit-chatting, and she had bought 1 hank while I was in my workshop. I was really only there for just a little over an hour. And when I saw it, I had to have it. I'm like, where'd you get that? We're gonna be twins. Whatever we're making, we're gonna make together. So here is what she bought. I got this from Wolseley Wool. They had a booth set up. Now they are our local yarn store in Winnipeg. This is Lichen and Lace. Lichen and Lace. I just loved this color. You can see a kind of a trend with me. I like the speckly look. Now this is made by a New Brunswick company, I believe. If I'm incorrect, I will tell you right here. It is an 80-20 sock yarn, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 100 grams, and this one's only 365 yards. But it is a fingering weight, so I don't know why it's not like a 400 yard. Must be a little thicker. But I just love this. So we are twins. Milen and I are twins. We are gonna, I said we have to do a make along. We have to do a knit along, a same project. So she doesn't know right now what she wants to do. Yeah, it says hand dyed in Sackville, New Brunswick. And I will link their information below, as well as Wolseley Wool. I also bumped into my friend Alice from Soxy Nana Alice, also known as Needles to Pin, so I will link her information below. All we got was this selfie together. We didn't do any footage. Now, in the photo is her friend Bev, who is beside me, and then on the other side, that's Milen. So sorry, Milen, you're in my video. I then went to another place, and I was taking a little bit of footage, and Milen had grabbed this hank of yarn, and I said, gimme, so this happened.
Oh no, I had kind of this.
I like that.
Perfect.
Gimme, gimme. And I thought we were gonna have to duke it out for this yarn because there was only 1 hank of this, but she's like, if you want it, you can have it. So this was bought from Manjusha Fiber Arts. Now she lives not too far from me. She's a hand dyer in Dugald, Manitoba, and I'm going to link her information below. Her name is Tammy, and so this is what I bought from Tammy. I'm starting to see I like a lot of the naturals with the grays. So again, to me, this is just gorgeous. This colorway is called Fog and Fire. It is BFL sock yarn. Now that is a type of sheep. I'm gonna put that here because I can't remember what it is. I don't know if there's any nylon in this. It doesn't say. It's 110 grams, which is 415 yards. I love that. I'm feeling I have some other grays and stuff in my collection now that I'm going to, I would love to do some sort of a top with this with another gray. Maybe I can find something with some rust in it and do like striped version that kind of works out. I am going to be getting some an advent calendar from Tangled Poets, so we'll see what kind of colors are in there that I can maybe incorporate. And yeah, so this was another one, and thank you, Milen, for giving this up for me because there was only the one. We went and looked at the animals that they had outside. They had various sheep. I have a cute little conversation with one of the children from Long Homestead, I believe. So the sound quality will not be the best on this little conversation, but it was so cute. So I just had to include it. And then here is some footage of the animal stable. They also had shearing that was going on. We just didn't happen to catch it at that time. There was rabbits and alpaca and various types of sheep. So take a look at this.
Do you want to pet the sheep? Really? Yeah.
Are you going to let her inside?
On the hat.
Well, you gotta go
There's a
inside.
place to pet them.
Don't put them at the top of their head.
Okay.
Put on their neck or their leg. They really love that. The one with the white face is Emily, and the one with the black face is Charlie.
Charlie and Emily. Is this yours?
Yep, it's a
Wow. And where's your farm located?
St. Genevieve. We're along my homestead.
How often do you have to shear them a year?
Once a year on April.
In April.
How
How many sheep do you have?
Like 20. We also have a llama and a half alpaca, half llama. So a bunch of different animals.
And do you guys kind of do you dye yarn as well?
Yeah,
Just sell the
we dye some of the yarn. We only use natural dye, so that limits us to a few colors. But we still can make an entire rainbow of colors.
And what's the name of your farm?
Long way home. Oh, the blue side inside.
I bought your knitting balm.
They're gold. That's my brother, and
I can tell you are excellent salesmen.
and he's selling them. So
Are you selling the wool pillows? Maybe. Thank you for letting me pet your sheep. You're welcome. When we went back inside, I bumped into my friend Dana from the Prairie Knitter. Now Dana is, I've known Dana for quite a while. I knew her when she was a child. I worked with both of her parents years ago, and I was scrolling through YouTube and I found Dana's face pop up. Now she has a new channel, the Prairie Knitter, and I encourage you to go and check her out. She makes beautiful hand knit sweaters with gorgeous yarn. I aspire to be like you someday, Dana. And we were messaging before the festival as well, and I knew she was on the hunt for some alpaca because she is a lover of alpaca. And she just messaged me now to tell me that she went back today as well and bought more yarn. So she got quite the haul. I know she's going to be sharing it with everybody in their next episode, so I'm going to leave her link below. And here's a very short footage. Again, the sound quality, because it was loud and there's no microphones, it is what it is, but I wanted to share this with you.
This is Dana from the Prairie Knitter. Dana and I have known each other for a while. She was this big. I was always this big, and I was like skinny with her. So let's look at the damage here. Did you get everything you want?
I did.
So you got your black. You got your. This is the black alpaca that you wanted, right?
Yes. I want some black for some color work.
Oh, no, you wanted a sweater.
No, just for some color work. There's a lot of sweaters I want that are black and you can't dye it.
Girl, it's all alpaca.
It's all alpaca.
And you got a pillow.
I got a pillow. I already have one.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Gorgeous. Score. I bought nothing. I'm just starting.
Yet. You can carry some of my way.
Yes. Go check her out.
After Dana and I had a brief catch up, we walked around and looked at a lot of the yarn. There was over 80 booths there. It wasn't all yarn. There was a lot of other things. There was people spinning, and there was a lady using a loom, and she graciously gave me a little lesson and let me, I'm gonna say, play with the loom. I was a little worried I was gonna mess up her what she had going on, but so here's another short video of me attempting to do a loom. It's not as easy as it looks. I think it gets better the longer you work with it. So here's this.
I have one of these. This is an 8-shaft Minerva 22-inch wide, made from the Leclair Company out of Lillette, Quebec. They've been making these things for, let's say, 100 years.
Wow.
If not 100, very close. The cotton comes from Maurice Persad, who is also a very old supplier of weaving stuff. They supply most of the cotton in North America.
Oh, wow.
6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Walking the tread.
Okay.
Okay. Left foot, treadle number 1.
Do I push it down?
All the way. Maybe move your foot up a tiny bit. And just down you go.
Okay. It's as far down as
Yep.
I can go.
So that one, let's thread it in close to the reed. Pull it on. And see if you can pick it in. Not quick, but it still went through.
Here.
You also make mistakes. It doesn't. When you do this, you want a triangle because it goes on the work thread. It goes up, down, and that gives you a slap. Okay, and then you grab that and you beat it. Whack! A bit of getting used to it. Triangle of depth has nothing to do with depth, but now you remember it.
Do I hold it taut?
Okay, now number 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Back it out.
Well, you know, at first you're like, when you know you can't break it, then you get a little more. Oh, and you change the color then, or just the end of your. So now I can put it up and then you would go back the way you came.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, so then you would set it.
Change the color whenever the spirit takes you.
Got it.
Or when you run out of a bobbin.
Beautiful. I love it. Thank you so much for letting me do that. Now go fix all my mistakes.
No. It's art. It's okay.
Fair enough. Thank you so much.
I also donated a little bit of yarn. They were doing donations for Chase the Chill, where people were bringing in hand knit hats and scarves to donate. And I did not have anything specifically hand knit for that occasion, but of course I have yarn. So I asked them if it was okay if I could donate some, because I wanted to like give back, and they were thrilled with that someone would take the yarn and make it. So I did that while I was also at the festival. Then I went to another vendor, The Last Dance Ranch. Now I had seen them before. We were vendors at a same market years ago. So we reminisced about that market, about how wonderful it was. And I had to pick myself up some more of this. It is called Knitter's Balm. And it smells so good. Basically, it's like a salve that you can just put on your hands, your dry hands. It's a hydrating blend of butters, oils, and beeswax formulated to nourish dry skin, non-greasy, and absorbs quickly. And it definitely does that. It absorbs very quickly, and it's wonderful. So I still have a tube. I've had it for a while. She says it doesn't go bad, but they make this as well as so many other products, and I had to get more of this. So I'm so thrilled that they were there. So I have my backup balm. And the last place I went to, and I was looking at them online. Well, there were so many great places. I was a little ADHD. It was really hard to focus, and we had no schedule. We're like, let's go see the animals before it gets dark. And then, oh, a loom, let's go look at this. And oh, I gotta text Dana and find out where she is in the building. Like, I was just all over the place, friends. Like, I'm not gonna lie. And I may have been on a little bit of a yarn high when I got home. Hubs had his friend over visiting, and they were out in the shop, and he said, well, pop into the shop and say hello, which I did. And they could tell, I think my pupils were dilated like big time. I was on a yarn high. So it was a wonderful day. The last place I visited was a place called Smash Knits. Now they are hand dyers, and I was looking at their product online prior to the festival. And I was messaging, asking questions about minis, because I wanted to get minis for my little animals that I was making. But again, indecisive, didn't know what I wanted to do. So of course I rocked up there at the end of the night. I think it was like 10 minutes left before they were closing the doors. And I'm like, look at what I made. What do you think? You want to hire me as a dyer? And of course they said they were impressed. I don't know if they were. And I said, it smells like a Tony perm. And so she put her nose to the bag. Her name is Ashley, and she said, oh, well, that's the sheep smell. I said, is it gonna go away? And she's like, absolutely. And then her husband, I believe his name is Norman, offered me some free wool wash. And I said, well, I'm not gonna take that until I look at your yarn and buy something. And buy I did. They have such beautiful stuff, and I'm definitely going to be purchasing from them again in the future. But what I found, and I really liked, is they had grab bags. They had some yarn that they called oopsie yarn that I guess didn't make the cut in their dyeing process. But they also had these grab bags, and they were $45. And you have to look and see how much was in this bag. I love it. Not everything had a label, so she did write down what was in it. The first thing is this, which is just, I don't know if this is doing it justice. There's yellow in here and some browns. There's some yellow right there. Now this is a DK weight, and the colorway is Land of Silver Birch, but this is an oopsie, so I guess it didn't make the cut for some reason. They do normally have this color. She showed me a sweater of what it looked like knitted up, and I should have taken a photo of it, so it's quite striking. There is a lot of like dots in it, which is what I really like. So this is a 75% superwash merino DK and 25% nylon. And it is 100 grams, 246 yards. And I just love it. Like, I am really getting into the grays. I'm starting to feel I have a great collection to like group together to make something. So this was in the grab bag, as well as this. And this one is fingering weight. And she wrote down it's 100 grams, 437 yards. I thought that doesn't look like 437 yards, but again, what do I know? And Milen was, yeah, no, it's tightly wound. So, I mean, that's quite a bit, that just a solid color I could add to some other colors for a garment. So this is fantastic. Then there was some mohair. You know, me and my mohair, which looks beautiful with this actually. And this is 50 grams, 438 yards. This is all in one grab bag. Then there's this lovely little mini. And this has a lot of the same coloring. This is a fingering weight. It's a little more on the beige side. And two of these. All of this together for $45, friends. And a plum color. So I put it together with my Hank, and I was saying, I like this situation. I like this situation, what's going on here. Even with some of this. Who knew I liked purple so much? So that is my haul from the Manitoba Fibre Festival. It was so fun. I went out today for lunch with my dear friend and her daughter, and I was almost tempted to turn the car in the direction and go back, because I had went to the workshop. I had free entrance for both days, and the wristband was still in my car, and I was like, be a good girl, go home, go home. So I came home to video this, and it was wonderful. It was just a wonderful day to reconnect with some people and to meet some new people. And that, my friends, is the Manitoba Fibre Festival. I hope you enjoyed my episode. And again, I apologize if there's any sound of things that are hard to hear. I thought I took a lot of footage, but I think I was just too much into the excitement of talking to people and everything. So thank you for watching. I hope you are enjoying any fiber arts that you are working on. Remember, we are all melded together by yarn. If you enjoy this content, please like, subscribe, share, and I will see you all very soon. Have a great week, everyone. Bye for now.